Hello students, uh, today let us take another lesson, lesson number 5 from Hornbill, the Ailing planet, the green movement's role. Now, this essay is about the uh, declining health of our own planet, Earth, that is not well, really not well, and the role of a green movement started in around 1972. So the essay talks about various issues that are relevant even today, and you will relate to the lesson even in today's context. ये आजकल के टाइम में भी ये सारे इश्यूज रेलेवेंट हैं, किस तरह से अर्थ की हेल्थ खराब हो रही है, हमारे प्लैनेट की हेल्थ खराब हो रही है, और ड्यू टू ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज, इंक्रीज ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज, हमारे अर्थ की जो कंडीशन है वो वर्स हो रही है, और कैसे ज़रूरत है इसको सेव करने की, इसको प्रोटेक्ट करने की. So let us start the lesson. One cannot recall any movement in world history which has gripped the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the Green Movement, which started nearly 25 years ago. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Since then, the movement has not looked back. So, as I told you, कि 1972 में ग्रीन मूवमेंट स्टार्ट किया गया to preserve the resources of Earth. We have shifted, one hopes, irrevocably from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world. It is a shift in human perception as revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the Earth and other planets revolved around the Sun. For the first time in human history, there is a growing worldwide consciousness that the Earth itself is a living organism, an enormous being of which we are part. It has its own metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. तो अब ये बहुत ग्रोइंग एक नीड हो गई है, ग्रोइंग कॉन्शियसनेस हो गई है कि Earth needs to be preserved, and the resources available on Earth are limited, and they need to be protected. They must not be wasted. The Earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. तो Earth के जो मेन साइंस हैं, बहुत से सिग्नल्स देती है Earth हमें कि showing that it is in bad shape, कि इसकी हेल्थ जो है वो रियली खराब हो रही है. We have begun to realize our ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy to future generations. तो हमें अर्थ को बहुत अच्छे से प्रिजर्व करना है, just like the stewards, कि उसकी केयर करनी है, एंड वी हैव टू बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल ट्रस्टीज ऑफ द लेगेसी ऑल्सो, कि हमें इसको प्रिजर्व करके फ्यूचर जनरेशन को हैंड ओवर करना है इन अ गुड शेप. The concept of sustainable development was popularized in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. In its report, it defined the idea as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs, that is, without stripping the natural world of resources future generations would need. In the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, there is a cage where the notice reads, "The world's most dangerous animal." Inside the cage, there is no animal, but a mirror where you see yourself. Thanks to the efforts of a number of agencies in different countries, a new awareness has now dawned upon the most dangerous animal in the world. He has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. अब ये बहुत ही क्यूरियस, बहुत ही peculiar इंसिडेंट है कि एक जाम्बिया में, अफ्रीकन कंट्री है जाम्बिया, वहाँ पे एक जू है और उसमें एक केज है, खाली केज है, जिसके बाहर एक कैप्शन है, द वर्ल्ड्स मोस्ट डेंजरस एनिमल। और उस केज के अंदर सिर्फ एक मिरर है, और उस मिरर में क्या दिखता है? whosoever looks into the mirror sees his own reflection। तो ह्यूमन बीइंग की रिफ्लेक्शन दिखती है उसमें। दैट मीन्स who is the world's most dangerous animal? The man itself। ह्यूमन बीइंग इज द मोस्ट डेंजरस एनिमल। तो ये एक कॉन्शियसनेस वर्ल्ड वाइड हो गई है शुरू, कि humans are the most dangerous animals on this earth, because we humans are destroying the natural resources. We do not respect the natural resources. We do not respect the resources given to us by Earth. So we are destroying Earth in a way, our own planet. Scientists have catalogued about 1.4 million living species with which mankind shares the Earth. Estimates vary widely as regards the still uncatalogued living species. Biologists reckon that about 3 to 100 million other living species still languish unnamed in ignominious darkness। कि साइंटिस्ट कहते हैं कि बहुत से मिलियन, मैनी मिलियन स्पीशीज हैं जो अर्थ पर ह्यूमन बींग्स के साथ को एग्जिस्ट करते हैं। और ये 1.4 मिलियन तो वो हैं जिनका रिकॉर्ड है, कैटलॉग मीन जिनका रिकॉर्ड हमने रखा हुआ है। लेकिन इसके अलावा 3 to 100 मिलियन अदर लिविंग स्पीशीज भी हैं जो अनरिकॉर्डेड हैं और जिनके बारे में अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है। इग्नोमिनियस डार्कनेस मीन्स अनग्रेटफुल, अनअवेयरनेस, जिनके बारे में हमें अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है। One of the early international commissions which dealt inter alia with the question of ecology and environment was the Brand Commission, which had a distinguished Indian as one of its members, Mr. L.K. Jha. The first Brand report raised the question, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and ailing environment? तो ये एक जो सेंटेंस है, इट हैज अ वेरी डीप मीनिंग, कि हम अपने सक्सेसर्स मतलब हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन को कैसा प्लेनेट हैंड ओवर करके जाएंगे। अ स्कॉच प्लेनेट, स्कॉच मीन्स थर्स्टी, थर्स्टी प्लेनेट विद सो मेनी डेजर्ट, कि डेजर्ट बढ़ते जा रहे हैं क्योंककि जो ये जो प्लांटेशन को कट करते हैं, डिफॉरेस्टेशन होती है, उसकी वजह से लैंड जो है वो इतनी डिस्ट्रॉय हो रही है कि डेजर्ट, नंबर ऑफ डेजर्ट बढ़ रहे हैं। और इसके अलावा इम्पॉवरिश्ड लैंडस्केप, मतलब लैंडस्केप मीन्स सीनरीज which are impoverished, means which are poorly maintained scenery, and ailing environment, and an environment which is not healthy। तो अर्थ की जो कंडीशन है इस पूरे सेंटेंस में, जो करेंटली हमारे प्लैनेट की कंडीशन है, वो पूरा डिस्क्राइब हो रही है इसमें। कई बार ये सेंटेंस एक्सप्लेन करने में के लिए भी आता है लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन में, तो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वेरी वेल। Mr. Lester R. Brown, in his thoughtful book, The Global Economic Prospect, points out that the Earth's principal biological systems are four: fisheries, forests, grasslands, and croplands, and they form the foundation of the global economic system. In addition to supplying our food, these four systems provide virtually all the raw materials for industry except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. In large areas of the world, human claims on these systems are reaching an unsustainable level, a point where their productivity is being impaired. When this happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear, grasslands are converted into barren wastelands, and croplands deteriorate. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, Overfishing is common every day. In poor countries, local forests are being decimated in order to procure firewood for cooking. In some places, firewood has become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. Since the tropical forest is, in the words of Dr. Meyer, the powerhouse of evolution, several species of life face extinction as a result of its destruction. अब यहाँ पे एक जो फर्स्ट सेंटेंस था यहाँ पे द मेन जो अर्थ के प्रिंसिपल बायोलॉजिकल सिस्टम्स हैं दे आर फोर इन नंबर कि अर्थ में जो मेन जहाँ पे लिविंग बींग्स एग्जिस्ट करते हैं वो सिस्टम्स हैं फिशरीज फॉरेस्ट ग्रासलैंड्स एंड क्रॉपलैंड तो ये दिस यू मस्ट लर्न बिकॉज शॉर्ट आंसर इस पर शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चन इस पर बेस आता है so you must learn these fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands और यही फाउंडेशन है of the global economic system यहीं से सारी all over the world economy इसी पर based है अब these systems provide all the raw material for industry except the minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. So, or uh, due to human interference, due to human activities, these systems are uh, collapsing. Actually, they are getting destroyed because of over demand of human beings or when this destruction happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear, grasslands are converted into barren wastelands, and croplands deteriorate. अब over demand जब हो जाती है because of one of the main reasons for this is overpopulation also. तो ह्यूमन बींग्स की ओवर पॉपुलेशन की वजह से डिमांड इतनी ज्यादा हो जाती है फॉर फूड फॉर लैंड फॉर होम फॉर हाउसेज कि ऑल दी सिस्टम कोलैप्स इनका जो आपस में कनेक्शन है दैट ब्रेक एंड द अर्थ बिकम्स इन अ बैड शेप और यहाँ पे दे आर ऑल्सो सेइंग कि इन पुअर कंट्रीज लोकल फॉरेस्ट आर बीइंग डेसिमेटेड मीन्स दे आर गेटिंग डिस्ट्रॉयड कि लोकल फॉरेस्ट जो हैं वो डिस्ट्रॉय किए जाते हैं टू प्रोक्योर फायरवुड फॉर कुकिंग कुकिंग के लिए जो फायरवुड चाहिए लकड़ी चाहिए जलाने के लिए उसके लिए फॉरेस्ट जो हैं वो बहुत ही लार्ज स्केल पे डिस्ट्रॉय किए जाते हैं और ये भी कहा जाता है कि पुअर कंट्रीज में जो द the fuel, the firewood is more expensive than the food itself. कि जो पॉट के अंदर फूड बन रहा है उससे भी ज्यादा एक्सपेंसिव फ्यूल है तो ये सब ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज की वजह से ये सारी डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रही है It has been well said that forests precede mankind, deserts follow. कि this means that mankind को पहले forest provide किए गए mankind से पहले forest थे और हमेशा से रहे हैं but after the human interaction, after the destruction by human beings, deserts have come up. Deserts बाद में बने हैं the world's ancient patrimony of tropical forests is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year, and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. The World Bank estimates that a five-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. James Fett, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day, we were saying that we are losing the forest at an acre a second, but it is much closer to an acre and a half to a second. कि forest जो हैं वो इतनी जल्दी destroy हो रहे हैं Article 48A of the Constitution of India provides that the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. But what causes endless anguish is the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. For instance, the Constitution says that casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor shall be abolished, but they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the Constitution. A recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forests over the last 4 decades. India, according to a reliable data, is losing its forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. इतनी जल्दी इतनी लार्ज स्केल पे हमारे फॉरेस्ट जो हैं वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो रहे हैं. Large areas officially designated as forest land are already virtually treeless. The actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by government statistics. So, बहुत से एरियाज ऐसे हैं जो फॉरेस्ट लैंड ऑन पेपर फॉरेस्ट लैंड की तरह मार्क हैं, लेकिन दे आर रियली ट्रीलेस. एक्चुअल में दे आर barren. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. It took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. The present world population is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. So this is alarming. This is an alarming trend कि वर्ल्ड की पॉपुलेशन जो है वो इतनी फास्ट इंक्रीज हो रही है कि एवरी 4 days 1 million इंक्रीज हो जाती है. एंड दिस स्टैटिस्टिक्स इज a little old. It might be faster nowadays also. Now, overpopulation का क्या effects होते हैं अब आगे देखिए. Fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. अब वो कह रहे हैं कि development जो है that can act as the best contraceptive to control the population, because as people get educated they tend to have smaller families and health also improves that way. But जिस तरह से numbers increase हो रहे हैं population के, only development, only education is not enough. The rich get richer and the poor beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. अब generally क्या है, सोसाइटी में क्या ट्रेंड है, the rich people are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Or poor families may they have a number of children. They have a large number of children because they are mostly uneducated, illiterate, and unaware. They think that more children means more hands to work. But actually, the situation is if you have more children, that means you are increasing unemployment, means more people without work. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. So the main reason is of poverty is overpopulation in India, especially in India. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today, more than the entire populations of Africa and South America put together. Remember, this is an old statistic. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments unless population control is given topmost priority. So India में main जो कंडीशन है, मेन जो रीजन है पॉवर्टी का, दैट इज ओवर पॉपुलेशन. तो हम अगर ओवर पॉपुलेशन अपनी कंट्री की कंट्रोल कर लें किसी तरह, तो मैनी ऑफ आवर प्रॉब्लम्स विल बी सॉल्व. For the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern, the survival not just of the people but of the planet. अब again focus जो है वो survival of the planet पे आ रहा है, survival of the resources of the planet. Sorry. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is our passport for the future. The emerging New World vision has ushered in the era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. So अब जो current era hai, that is the era of responsibility. That means we have to act as responsible citizens, responsible uh, survivors on this planet. Industry has a most crucial role to play in this new era of responsibility. What a transformation would be affected if more businessmen shared the view of the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, who 5 years ago declared himself to be the company's chief environmental officer. He said, our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. तो एक बहुत बड़ी कंपनी, एक एमएनसी के सीईओ, सीईओ एक्चुअल में होता है चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर, दैट इज द हेड ऑफ एनी कंपनी. बट मिस्टर Edgar has declared himself as uh, the chief environmental officer because he feels that we have to act responsibility towards preserving the environment. Of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, now Mrs. Margaret Thatcher was the prime minister of England, and she was a very strong lady. She was during the times of Mrs. Indira Gandhi in India, and she was called as the Iron Lady. Margaret Thatcher was called the Iron Lady. She was so bold and strong. None has passed so decisively into the current coin of English usage as her felicitous words. Now, what she said, no generation has a free hold on this earth. All we have is a life tenancy with a full repairing lease. She declared that none of us should think that we can use and exploit the resources of earth freely. कि किसी का भी कंप्लीट मालिकाना हक नहीं है अर्थ पर किसी भी जनरेशन का. All we have is a life tenancy. We are all tenants here. हम एक किराएदार की तरह हैं यहाँ पर अर्थ पर. हम अपना टाइम स्पेंड करने आए हैं. हमें जो लाइफ पीरियड मिला है, हम अपना अर्थ पर स्पेंड करने आए हैं. और हमें जितना हम रिसोर्सेज को यूज करते हैं, जैसे भी हम यूज करते हैं, वी हैव टू बी केयरफुल ऑफ इट एंड वी हैव टू रिपेयर इट properly before handing it over to the next generation. कि हमें अपने जितने भी टाइम में हम रिसोर्सेज हमें अवेलेबल हैं, हमें उनको प्रिजर्व करके और अगली जनरेशन को हैंड ओवर करना है. हम इस अर्थ को हम ऐसे ना रहें कि हम मालिक हैं, हम कैसे भी रिसोर्सेज को यूज कर सकते हैं और वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए हमें. In the words of Mr. Lester Brown, we have not, now these sentences are very important. We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. So this is also a very deep meaning sentence that हमारे फोर फादर से, हमारे एंसेस्टर्स से, हमारे पूर्वजों से हमने अर्थ को इनहेरिट विरासत में नहीं पाया है. मतलब हम मालिक नहीं है इसके कि हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमें इसको हैंड ओवर कर दिया कि तुम जैसे मर्जी इसको यूज करो. नहीं, एक्चुअली वी हैव and then we have to return it as it is in a good shape to our children. So we should not exploit the resources of Earth. We must learn to preserve it, and we must act as responsible citizens. So this essay is very relevant in today's world also, today's times also, क्योंकि अभी भी हमें रिसोर्सेज को प्रिजर्व करने की जरूरत है, अभी भी हमें रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन की तरह एक्ट करने की जरूरत है. So we must learn a lesson from this. Okay, that's all about it. Now I'll share the PDF also. Thank you.